pass over consent. All the pass over matters.
Pass over from supplementary list, item 28, WPS 1033 of 2023.
Yes. Are you there?
Supplementary affidavit was to be filed, Your Lordship, which is ready but could not be filed, Your Lordship. Your Lordship exhausts it only for a day. I'll file it in the box, otherwise if you're...
You file it right away? Otherwise you are ready?
Yes, otherwise
You are given the name of the persons?
no, Your Lordship, I have annexed the letters and by the said letters it would be evident that they are similarly situated or no.
So you should specifically state in your affidavit. What is happening here is that everybody is arguing from the annexures, and in absence of necessary averments in the main in the pleadings, they do not respond to the annexures. They only respond to your pleadings. So you should specifically state. Kindly take you more time to do it, but in absence of any specific affidavit, we cannot call for any reply.
Then Your Lordship,
I'll give you some more time.
Around 4 weeks.
Yes, do that needful.
I'll do that.
I told your junior also on that.
I'll do that.
At the prayer of the learned counsel for the petitioner, the matter is adjourned and is directed to be posted on what date?
After 4 weeks, Your Lordship, any day.
Okay, on 15th of May.
Oblige you.
Pass over case from daily list, item 6, WPS 1927 of 2023.
I was thinking that the matter be passed over for appeals.
He is seeking pass over. Mr. Vallabh was
Mr.
actually
Pallava
in
was
this
copy
case.
he's left because of some personal reasons. We come up next week because he's
We'll adjourn it
ready with the
because
file.
prior to vacation it may not be possible.
Because we're ready with the file. Any date
I
can
know.
be passed.
Moreover, in view of the counter affidavit filed by the state government, prior to passing the order, interim order by this honorable court, the posts were filled up. Now the all selected candidates have been appointed in Ranchi district. Then what remains, Your Lordship? That
You
they
have not
made
taken instructions on the point. What will happen? You have
order
already
25.
joined.
Because we have already joined,
Yes.
but because on
The
that
fresh
day when
appointment
the-
letter will be issued to you now.
On that day, because when the interim order was granted, this position did not come up that the seats have already been filled.
So naturally, you did not disclose it.
it was not disclosed.
Because as
Maybe
per-
you did not know it.
Yes, as
Yes, I
our
appreciate
information
that.
was that there was no the vacancies were still to be filled.
This is almost an infructuous case.
We'll let it come up on the next date, my lords. Any date, my lords, fix. Because we are ready with the case compendium and everything.
WPS number 1927 of 2023. The counsel for the parties are present. Counsel for the petitioner seeks adjournment. The records of this case indicate that the petitioners have been offered appointment and they have already joined. But they are insisting that they should have been offered appointment for in the district of Saraikela Kharsawa. Sorry, in the district of
was 13th in there.
in the district of Ranchi. The learned counsel has, upon a query of this court, the learned counsel for the petitioner has submitted that the petitioners have already joined the post at Saraikela Kharsawa. Counsel for the respondents has submitted that on the day the interim order was passed by this court, all the posts in the district of Ranchi were already filled up. And for
Prior
all,
to passing the order, interim order by
yes, and he submits that by all, for all practical purposes, the present case has become infructuous. Right? The post day after tomorrow.
Similar matter is at serial number 33, but the exact facts are exactly the same.
Case के item 4, WPS 693 of 2023.
Wait.
Well, the writ petition was originally filed for fourfold reliefs. One was to quash Annexure 17, which is a order dated 17/8/2023 at page 77, whereby the Road Construction Department recalled my services from Rural Works Department, where I was posted. The order itself states I was posted as engineering chief, come AC, come special secretary. But hereinafter I will refer to it as a statutory post. And then my lords transferred me as engineer in chief in the technical cell, examiner cell in the vigilance department till further on. Because the grounds set out in the writ petition for setting it aside was, well, firstly, my lords, it amounts to reduction and degradation of rank. The duties and functions of the two posts are not similar. Therefore, the respondent authorities do not have jurisdiction to post me. Second was, on face of it, it was arbitrary. The post being a non-cadre post. Thirdly, on the count, I am the only statutory cadre highest hierarchical post holder in the Jharkhand engineering service. There are 3 cadre posts sanctioned. One way back in the year 1974, led with 1981. The other in the year 2002, post reorganization. And in the year 2006, in the state of Jharkhand, those posts, I'm saying arbitrary for the reason, those posts are being filled up on officiating basis for persons in the rank of superintending engineer or chief engineer who are not even eligible as per the 2016 rules to be considered for promotion to the rank of highest statutory post. And lastly was that in the background that the petitioner is supposed to superannuate on 31st of December 2024 and being the only statutory cadre post holder be posted against the sanctioned post in the state of Jharkhand. Certain facts, since they may fall for dispute, if your lordships will kindly first turn to Annexure 3, page 40 to 42.
Will you please pause for a moment?
Yes, sir.
Please take down. The learned senior counsel for the petitioner has submitted that the impugned order in the present case as contained in Annexure 17, whereby amounts to reduction and degradation in rank,
Lords.
and duties and functions are not similar as compared to the post from which the petitioner has been transferred. He has further submitted that the transferred post is a non-cadre post and the petitioner belongs to Jharkhand Engineering Service and is the highest cadre post holder
Lords.
in the hierarchy of service under
Engineering service.
hierarchy of Jharkhand Engineering Service. The learned counsel further submits that
Possibly the only one, I have said so. Highest and only.
highest and only. The learned counsel has further submitted that the post to which the petitioner is entitled is being uh, filled up filled up by persons on the basis of officiating basis, and those persons are belonging to the rank of superintending engineer or chief engineer, in spite of the fact that a suitable candidate like the petitioner is available to hold the post. He submits that such action on the part of the state indicates arbitrariness on their part. That's it.
And devoid of reasons.
And devoid of any reasons.
Lords, I will refer to Justice A.K. Ganguly. He referred to a Supreme Court decision, Lords, in a Hemraj case, and said that the guarantee flowing from Article 14 and 16, as held by a three-judges bench, is a guarantee that the action of the executive shall be founded on good reasons. Lords, I have given that list of judgment. I will come to that. Lords, kindly turn to Annexure 3 at page 40. Lords, on last occasion, it was suggested in course of contours of the hearing to be given that I was promoted only to the rank of engineer-in-chief. I'm trying to show that both the notifications, Lords, including the supplementary counter affidavit filed by the Chief Secretary as directed by your Lordships, also admits that I was promoted and posted. But I'll show it for your Lordships kindly. Annexure 3, page 40. Lords, this is a proceeding of the DPC held in terms of the provision of the 2016 rules. If your Lordships will find, with regard to the sanction post from para 2 thereof, Lords, I am reading from the last 4 lines. उक्त क्रम में पथ निर्माण विभाग द्वारा ये जानकारी भी दी गई कि अविभाजित बिहार राज्य के पथ निर्माण विभाग से अभियंता प्रमुख सह अपर आयुक्त सह विशेष सचिव का कार्यरत एक स्थायी परमानेंट कैडर पर संवर्ग विभाजन में झारखंड राज्य को प्राप्त हुआ। तदुपरांत ग्रामीण विकास विभाग झारखंड के स्वीकृत्यादेश पत्रांक 14/8/2001 को से अभियंता प्रमुख सह अपर आयुक्त सह विशेष सचिव का एक स्थायी पद सृजित किया गया। Not a lot of dates would be relevant. One in the year 2000 comes. Not all these are prior to the notification relied upon by the secretary. पुनः भवन निर्माण विभाग झारखंड राज्य के स्वीकृत्यादेश पत्रांक इतना दिनांक 17/3/2006. So, not vote prior to the notification on basis of which the consideration was taken, and even thereafter, को उक्त पदनाम का एक स्थायी पद सृजित किया गया। I'll leave that and kindly come to now खगन विभागीय प्रोन्नति समिति की बैठक 17/8/2020 को, it's talking about the earlier DPC head, में कृत अनुशंसा अनुसार तथा सक्षम प्राधिकार के अनुमोदन पर पथ निर्माण विभाग अधिसूचना इतना द्वारा 8/7/2020 को श्री मुरारी भगत को मुख्य अभियंता असैनिक को उच्चतर प्रोन्नति पद अभियंता प्रमुख में प्रोन्नति देने के उपरांत इनके द्वारा माननीय झारखंड उच्च न्यायालय में स्वीकृत पदनाम के अनुरूप पूर्ण पदनाम अधिसूचित करने एवं देय तिथि 24/12/2019 के प्रभाव से प्रोन्नति तिथि 18/7/2020 को शिफ्ट बैक करने के निमित्त याचिका रिट पिटीशन नंबर सो एंड सो दायर किया गया, जिसमें माननीय उच्च न्यायालय द्वारा प्रारंभिक सुनवाई उपरांत दिनांक 10/9/2020 को प्राप्त आदेश के 3 सप्ताह में प्रति शपथ पर दायर करने के निर्देश राज्य सरकार को दिया गया। तद आलोक में उक्त बिंदु पर कार्मिक विभाग से परामर्श की मांग की गई थी। माननीय न्यायालय द्वारा 3 सप्ताह उपरांत पुनः मामले की सुनवाई दिनांक इतना को हुई, जिसमें माननीय न्यायालय द्वारा प्रति शपथ पत्र दायर करने हेतु अतिरिक्त 2 सप्ताह का समय अंतिम अवसर के रूप में राज्य सरकार को देते हुए मामले की सुनवाई की अगली तिथि 12/11/2020 को निर्धारित की गई। उपरोक्त आलोक में श्री मुरारी भगत नवप्रणत अभियंता प्रमुख द्वारा माननीय न्यायालय में दायर याचिका एवं इसमें संदर्भ में कार्मिक प्रशासनिक सुधार एवं राजभाषा विभाग से प्राप्त परामर्श, जिसमें प्रतिवेदित है कि झारखंड अभियंता सेवा नियमावली 2016 में उल्लिखित पद अभियंता प्रमुख सह अपर आयुक्त सह विशेष सचिव के पद पर प्रोन्नति निमित्त उक्त नियमावली के नियम 4 में निहित प्रावधानुसार कार्रवाई की जा सकती है के आलोक में therefore in this preface this DPC was constituted and then Kirkhug is written down below. झारखंड अभियंता सेवा निगम के फीडर पद पर मुख्य अभियंता इतना के आलोक में विभागीय प्रमुख समिति की पूर्व बैठक 17 जून 2020 में कृत अनुशंसा के अनुसार परामर्शी प्रशासी विभाग के अधिसूचना संख्या 100 एंड 100 8/7/2020 द्वारा अभियंता प्रमुख के पद पर प्रदत्त प्रोन्नति से संबंधित पदनाम में त्रुटि सुधार करते हुए अभियंता प्रमुख सह अपर आयुक्त सह विशेष सचिव का पदनाम करने पर विचार किया जाए। Therefore, this was the issue 1 before the DPC. Issue 2 was श्री भगत द्वारा अभियंता प्रमुख सह अपर आयुक्त सह विशेष सचिव के पद पर देय तिथि से प्रोन्नति संबंधित मांग के परिप्रेक्ष्य में इनके द्वारा समय समय पर पद निर्माण विभाग में समर्पित विभिन्न अभ्यावेदन एवं माननीय झारखंड उच्च न्यायालय की रिट याचिका WPS 2327 के आलोक में उक्त पद पर पद निर्माण विभाग झारखंड की अधिसूचना संख्या इतना के द्वारा इन्हें प्रदत्त प्रोन्नति की तिथि 8/7 को शिफ्ट बैक करने कर दे तिथि 24/12/19 किया है। हम लोग दिस इज दी ऑन द नेक्स्ट पेज इज दी अनुशंसा followed by a notification granting me the said. This is annexure 6 at page 52. This was the first notification. Pursuant to this recommendation, my lords, why annexure 10? If your lordships will turn to annexure 10, notification annexure 10 कितना page है? Index देखते हो? 58 my lords. Kindly see, I was just trying to clear that out because I know your lordships listen very patently, and my learned friend had suggested that my notification says only engineer in chief. Kindly see this. पथ निर्माण विभाग से सेवा प्राप्त मुरारी अभियंता प्रमुख को अभियंता प्रमुख सह अपर आयुक्त सह विशेष सचिव. Lordships have got that.
Notification appropriately.
Appropriate. Followed by they accepted it and then posted me.
That's
And
right.
my lord, just a page before is possibly the notification and then my lord, the posting. My lord, 2327 had to be followed by a contempt petition. My lord, this honorable court held that though the recommendation has been passed years back, notification is not being issued, and possibly the respondents are playing with the words of the High Court. I have enclosed that also, my lord, as an mention. Now, my lord, this is with regard to. Now, my lord, without going
Let's
into
have a look at Annexure 17.
annexure.
17.
Yes, my lord, that's the annexure impugn. Yes. Should I read that?
No, it's okay. I've got it.
Because this was the first thing that I had pointed out on my first day.
Yes.
This notification itself talks about my post, my status, and then follows it up with an order of transfer. And was kindly see, my lords, technical examiner cell is no part of any of the three works department under 2016 rule, or, my lords, even under the PWD code, which talks about the works department.
What is the work assigned to you? Technical examination
My
cell.
lords, it says, my lords, in the affidavit, to examine the technicality and aspect of engineering, because it has to be given to an honest and competent person. This is my work assigned. I'll take your lordships back to the notification itself, you know, the supplementary counter affidavit itself, and the notification dated 5/7/2002. Now, if your lordships will turn to the
I've
supplementary.
got your point. I think that should be sufficient.
I mean, also, there are other things also there. Lost
In support of your primary argument.
primary argument. Lost, could I then quickly take your lordships to the judgment?
Yes, please do that. And the pay scale is the same?
Pay scale is the same. But also, let me come on the issue of pay scale first, and then take your lordships
This
back.
judgment that you have given yesterday.
Lords, yesterday also, Lords, just in case if it was to be said that 1986 Supreme Court is just a stray judgment of the Supreme Court, I have brought on record, my lords, a judgment which refers to another judgment passed by the Supreme Court in 1968, refers to this Mithila University case, and refers to also lords its own conclusion. Lords, may I take your lordships first to that judgment itself?
Yes.
Because here the issue was a sub-inspector from BSF was posted as a sub-inspector in Delhi. Claim of continuity of service and past service being taken into account for determination of seniority was the issue. This your lordships will get from para. This your lordships
Yes.
will get
In para?
from para 2.
Okay.
Question involved.
That's right. Foundation
And
facts.
then, my lords, directly come to para 17, otherwise, my lords, other facts are not relevant.
Okay.
Was it an observation, or did the issue of equivalence arise for consideration by the Supreme Court, and therefore in terms of Dhanvantri Devi case, my lords, they point out three aspects of a ratio descendi. My lords, where they say, my lords, one, the pleaded facts, inferential facts, then my lords, the provision of law, and then they say the reason behind the finding, which is, kindly come to para 17. In law, now has your lordship got that?
Yes.
In law, it is necessary that if the previous service of a transferred official is to be counted for seniority in the transferred post, then the post should be equivalent. Otherwise, my lords, as per the Supreme Court, my lords, seniority would not, service period would not count. One of the objections raised by the respondents in this case, as well as in the earlier case of Anthony Matthews, is that the post of sub-inspector in BSF is not equivalent to the post of sub-inspector executive in Delhi Police. The argument is solely based on the fact that the two pay scales of the two posts are not equal. Therefore, because in this background, they had to consider what are the factors to determine equivalence. Though the original bench of the tribunal rejected the argument, next three lines your lordships can skip. Hence, we will proceed to deal, just above C, my lords, on the left-hand side, to deal with this argument now. Equivalence of two posts is not judged by the sole fact of equal pay. While determining the equation of two posts, many factors other than pay will have to be taken into consideration, like the nature of duties, responsibilities, minimum qualification, etc. It is so held by this court as far back as in the year 1968, in the case of Union of India versus P.K. Roy. In the said judgment, this court accepted the factors laid down by the Committee of Chief Secretary, which was constituted for settling the disputes regarding equation of posts arising of the State Reorganization Act 9. These four factors are nature and duties of a post, the responsibilities and powers exercised by the officer holding a post, the extent of territorial or other charges held by the officer held or responsibilities discharged, the minimum qualification if any prescribed for recruitment to the post, and fourth, the salary of the post. And then they go on to note one more line, my lords. It is the last in the conditions arising. They say it is seen that the salary of a post for the purpose of finding out the equivalence of the post is the last of the criteria. If the earlier thing so and so, and then, my lords, the other judgment which I have given a copy to in the last two lines of the same paragraph, in the case of, has your lordship got that?
Yes.
Vice Chancellor Ellen Mithila University versus Dayanand Jha, wherein at SCC para 8 of the judgment, this court held, learned counsel for the respondent is therefore right in contending that equivalence of post or pay scale is not the only factor in judging whether the post of principal and that of reader are equivalent posts. We are inclined to agree with him that the real criteria to adopt is whether they could be regarded of equal status and responsibility. The true criteria for equivalence is the status and the nature and responsibility of duties attached to the two posts. Now, let's see that I will not be taking unduly your lordship's time on only the relevant paragraphs with the background. To 1986, that judgment in your lordship's list is at page
This is very
247.
clear. You don't need to cite any judgment on this. They have to demonstrate that
And
these
not-
criteria are satisfied.
let me, do I need to again talk about the duties assigned under the PWD code? 15A, 15B, 15C,
We'll just
which,
ask them what are the nature
because
of
kindly
duties.
turn to one paragraph before your lordships. To the
You must have
supplement.
narrated the duties assigned to comparison of the duties assigned
Lords,
to
yes.
both the posts.
Kindly come to the
I just want to see that.
Lords, duties assigned, my lord.
Yes, yes, I would
Lords,
like
yes.
to see that.
Lords, kindly come to PWD code itself, which pleading I have taken about.
Where is that?
Lords, I had given a copy of it.
Yes, we have given a copy of it.
Lords, kindly come to 15A, 15B and 15C of the PWD code. Lords, a copy was given.
Yes, yes,
Should I pass on my copy, my lord?
let me just.
I have Bihar
Should
PWD
be
code
here.
with me.
Should be here.
My lord, I don't think so. I'll be very.
This 2016 notification is the rules.
This is 2012 first edition.
I'm not able to lay my hands on that.
My lord, it should be like this. I think.
ये वाला, ये, this one.
What
There's
is
one
that?
more of
That's
this.
judgment.
This is the compilation of judgments.
No, my
देखिए
lord,
उसमें
in
होगा.
addition we had given.
Yes, yes, you are given.
That's it. No, could I hand over
Yes,
again
please,
the
provide.
copy?
I hope.
ये बिहार का है, you I got it, you got it. Manoj, could I pass on my copy?
Yes,
Lord,
please, please.
I remember each one of them. I can point it out, Manoj, and this copy remains with my lords. 15A, 15B, 15C,
15B,
then 16
15.
talks about chief engineer.
This is chief engineer.
Manoj, kindly have a look. Manoj, 15A says, I am the administrative head of the branch of work department where I am posted. I am advisor to the, kindly have a look, it categorically says. Manoj, has the lordship got
Yes,
it?
yes, I've got that.
The engineer in chief is the administrative and professional head of that branch of public works department of which he is in charge. Lord's, branch has been defined under section, your lordships may kindly make a note, has been defined under section 2 capital B sub small b, capital B followed by small b. If your lordships will quietly refer back, branch has been defined there, kindly have a look, and wing has been defined.
That's right. That's right.
Notice while your lordship is at section 2, kindly see section 2 capital B H wing. Wing has been defined.
Yes.
Wing, kindly have a look.
Yes, wing means that part of branch
The
of public works.
part of the branch. Branch is a larger unit. Wing is a unit within that branch.
That's
And the chief engineer is the administrative of the wing and not the branch. Lords, kindly see 15A. the powers and function. And then I'll take your lordships to that notification which is being relied upon to say that the two posts are equivalent by three top functionaries of the state of Jharkhand. And I am reminded of a paragraph which I'll show to my lords, and I have already furnished it. DTC Mazdoor case. They talk about, my lords, the casual presumption that people in a high office will discharge a function responsibly. History has not been a proof of it, and reality exposes it to be a myth. I'll just narrate that paragraph. Isko on.
The designation to which you were promoted, this particular code, does it assign any special
Milords,
work for you?
This code, engineer-in-chief, it came after the post being created. Way back, this code is only an edition and reprint. It came after the post was created under the 1939 rules, engineering rules. And therefore, the head of the engineering, that post was upgraded, given that rank to fulfill this function. Therefore, it will refer to that.
Your designation, as per your promoted post, is some additional secretary.
Come additional.
Is there any such post under the? Is there any such duty assigned, special duties assigned, over and above your duties as engineering?
The notification itself, which confers the upgradation. I will take your lordship to that. First, your lordship will make a. I have brought on record all the three notifications.
Okay.
There is a separate secretariat attached to me. There is a list of officers attached to me. My budgetary allowance for the year is included. Now, 15B, if your lordships will see.
Yes.
Otherwise, engineer-in-chief, by that nomenclature, there is no post now. Neither under the 1939 cadre rules, nor under the 2016. I will take your lordship to the 2016 rules. It will be the duty of engineer-in-chief to see that budget allotment of the year are fully spent. First, your lordships have seen transfer of chief engineer within that branch. And then he will be responsible for uniform, and then, your clause 16, the duty of chief engineer is to recommend to engineer-in-chief all matters relating to transfer, posting, etc. And junior, he has full powers of transfer, will not have gathering superintendent. Now, let us kindly turn to another two duties assigned. Rule 291A. I have flagged that. I hope your lordships will find it easier. 291A. Has your lordship got it?
291A.
291A.
291. Yes, it is.
Let's kindly see. It has a chart of the various duties, the amount to which I can, all reflective of my status. It runs, and then kindly turn to 292. That is of the chief engineer. Comparison, bare comparison.
Yes.
Your lordships have seen that. Now, let's kindly turn to 2016 rules, which I have brought on record, both to my rejoinder and to the IA. IA forms part, your lordships can see it from the IA. IA number 3076 starts at wherein the post has been sanctioned. Kindly see. Turn to, if your lordships will turn to page 27. is a 2 sanctioned post by the government of Jharkhand. We have an English version also,
Yes.
Your Lordship will,
Yes.
if prefers to see the English version.
Yes.
The English version starts at page,
Yes, I am there.
internal page 26.
I am there.
There. All right. Let me be there. Now, note the provisions which will be important is kindly see Rule 3. It talks about constitution of service. And the 3 departments that are mentioned are is Road Construction Department, Water Resource Department, and Drinking Water and Sanitation. Now, note 6 says who will be there, and then I will take your lordship straight to the schedule, which provides for, as the section says, as mentioned in the schedule. If your lordship will kindly turn to schedule 1. As your lordship got
Yes,
that.
sir.
Kindly see, my lords, in this feeder grade is the chief engineer. The highest grade is engineer in chief cum AC cum SS. There is nothing like engineer in chief. The function in the PW code would be relatable to the function of engineer in chief cum AC cum SS. Plus the DPC which was held is in terms of Schedule 4 to the rules. If the lordships return to Schedule 4. Page 73.
Yes.
Plus the top is composition of departmental promotion committee for considering the case of promotion in the Jharkhand Engineering Service. Your lordships will again find that post. Now, my lords, if your
For
lordships,
chief engineer and engineer in chief from additional commissioner come special secretary, the constitution is perhaps the same.
perhaps, say,
It makes no difference, but still.
absolutely, my lords, the 2 are higher posts. But what remains, my lords, undisputable is feeder cadre is the cadre of chief engineer. And your lordships will keep that in mind when I show the notification on strength of which they say the 2 posts are equivalent. The post, statutory cadre post and the post. Now, my lords, we'll turn to page 75.
The pay scale is the same except the pay band for chief engineer
My
and
lords, I didn't check that. Your
yes.
lordships.
Please have a look at that.
My lords, your lordship is referring to page number.
This would be at page number 32.
My lords, yes. Something, despite my eagerness not to miss out on anything, gets missed out.
See, chief engineer is pay band 8900 and engineer in chief is pay band 10,000.
You are referring to 57/2002 or
This
page.
2016
My lords, yes.
rules.
37,400 to 67,000 is engineer in chief.
That's right.
10,000 is grade pay.
Great pay. Right.
And pay scale would be, my lords, on the first column.
Yes, pay scale and then grade pay. And then for chief engineer, the grade pay is 8,900.
Yes. Therefore, that's the distinction.
Please check, I think in your new posting, it is grade pay 8900.
No, it is 10,000, but what I have enclosed is earlier occupant of the same post. Because they were paid the salary of superintending engineer and chief engineer, notwithstanding that. I'll come to that. Not
Because I'd seen somewhere that this was
that is
reflecting.
because they say Milords, the grade pay is 10,000 in that notification. Milords, I'll come to that. Milords, first let me complete that.
Okay.
And then if your lordships will come to page 275, I brought on record your lordships were asking, are all the upgradation of post notification on record?
275
Not in IA,
of I.
75 only. It's part of annexure. Twenty-two CVs,
Yes. 24802.
2480. Your lordships will find अभियंत्रण संगठन के कार्यों के संपादन हेतु अभियंता प्रमुख स अपर आयुक्त स विशेष सचिव के कार्यालय स्थापना में स्थायी पदों का गैर योजना मद में सृजन की स्वीकृति के संबंध में they say, my lords, I will have a 37-member secretariat and then so on and so forth. Your lordships will then turn to page 77. This was taken pursuant to the decision of the cabinet. At page 77, and then minutes all the scales and whatnot. The other upgradation notification starts at page 79. This is the building construction department. Because one came back, that's recorded in judicial order, I have enclosed that is 2001 order. And also annexure 3, which is the recommendation and the point placed before the departmental
That's
promotion. This is 17/3/2006.
I think that should suffice. Let me just ask the
Minos,
response.
one, I'll just.
Is there
Minos,
anything you are missing out?
Minos, there are many other points, Minos. One, Minos, let us see that notification which I have brought on record, which was not brought on record in supplementary affidavit. What is that notification? On basis of which the 3-member committee, chief secretary, the finance secretary, and Minos, the head, took a conscious decision. Minos, that the two posts are equivalent.
That decision is important because that is under challenge.
Minos, that has been challenged by way of this IA, Minos. Minos, this is annexure, while your lordships are on IA itself, annexure 21, page 23 to 26. Now, kindly see what this notification reads. Is it a notification of declarance of equivalence? It says, Milord, could I request my learned friend, Milord, to read it?
Yes,
the
yes, sure.
language is slightly scribbled and my eyes are getting weak.
He will do.
धीमे धीमे पढ़िए, आइए.
15 नवंबर 2000 को झारखंड राज्य के अस्तित्व में आ जाने के फलस्वरूप प्रशासनिक व्यवस्था को सुदृढ़ एवं प्रभावशाली बनाने तथा प्रशासन पर प्रभावशाली नियंत्रण रखने हेतु सरकार ने यह आवश्यक सूचना की मंत्रिमंडल निगरानी विभाग के अधीन तकनीकी परीक्षा कोषांग को नए रूप में गठित किया जाए। इसके फलस्वरूप निम्नांकित पदों का सृजन भी स्वीकृति दी गई।
So, my lords, I pause here. एक clause और पढ़ना. I pause here, my lords. So, post reorganization, need was felt to reorganize the technical examiner cell in the vigilance department for purposes of which posts were created. Now, my lords, while your lordship is there, now kindly see the first post that was created.
अभियंता प्रमुख ऑब्लिक मुख्य अभियंता।
So therefore, my lords, the argument that I had made, my lords, engineer-in-chief stroke chief engineer. And therefore, my lords, either chief engineer, if this is a notification of equivalence, is declared equivalent to the post of engineer-in-chief, or the engineer-in-chief is downgraded to the post of chief engineer. The duties and responsibilities of the post of chief engineer is at stake, and I, from my statutory sanctioned cadre post, services are withdrawn and I am placed there. Now kindly, one query was, my lord, what is the function that I'll be discharging here? Now, my lords, that has also been set out in clause 4 or 5. Kindly read clause 4. Clause 3. Now, kindly see what is the duty. It is akin to the duty that I am supposed to discharge under the PWP. Pardon?
राज्य में लोक निधि के दुरुपयोग को बचाने के लिए तथा उच्च स्तर के कार्य संपादन की सुनिश्चितता करने के लिए तथा डिजाइन एवं के मुताबिक सामग्री के वास्तव
डिजाइन और स्पेसिफिकेशन के मुताबिक सामग्री
अंग्रेजी में भी लिख देते हैं लोग, तो ठीक है.
सामग्री के
So, my lords, kindly see, my lords, I will say no more. If this is the duty that and responsibility that I may have to discharge, it is not the duty that is attached to the statutory cadre post. And now, my lords, the next is, my lords, of course, they have quoted this, clause 5, कि competent और honest होना चाहिए. So your work department, the 3, road construction, building construction department, rural work department, you need other than honest and competent officers, my lords. And therefore I have been kept away from it. Notwithstanding that I am the only engineer-in-chief, come SS, come AC since 2019. I have submitted in my written petition, Lords, your lordships will make a note of it, tabular chart 1 and tabular chart 2 with annexure number 1, stating how in the past 3 years, when pursuant to court orders, they were forced to consider me and promote me to the highest post, how they have filled up the 3 top sanctioned cadre posts, tabular 1 and
we'll see that. Kindly come to page number 21 once again.
No, sir.
This notification.
Yes, no. Now I was coming to
This
it.
notification is issued by the Vigilance Bureau.
Yes, Mantrimandal Nigrani Department.
So,
But
do they decide the pay scale of this chief engineer and engineer-in-chief? They give a pay scale also?
No, this was a notification way back in the year 2002, need being felt to reorganize. Therefore, they needed not administrative sanction for posting the people, revamping it, and providing a financial layout also, which was also approved. Para 2 is, the sanction was there. And therefore, my lords, what I was coming up.
Why? How do they put the pay scale also when the person is inducted in engineering services? He is governed by his own pay scale.
Therefore, my lords, it's a non-cadre post. That is one of my objections. Your lordships have also recorded that. It's not even an ex-cadre. Now, my lords, seeing this, on this notification, this is the arguments that I have set out in my IA and rejoinder both. My lords, I'll just give a short. Lords, with regard to this, your lordships will only make a note. How is this notification dated 5/7/2002? Could it by any stretch of imagination be said to be a notification declaring equivalence? Lords, I have dealt with in para 5, Roman 1 to Roman 4 to my IA, elaborately. Lords, it's only a creation or a sanction of a post for a newly reformed technical examiner cell. Post sanction and financial outlay approved. Not a declaration that the two posts are equivalent. And my lord, the anomaly which defies any kind of solution is you provide at number 1 EIC stroke chief engineer. So, my lords, if they are equating me with chief engineer, then there is a reduction in rank. 1. The duties and function as is manifest from clause 3 are not the duties and functions assigned to me under statutory code. Because PWD code has been framed under 162, read with article 309, I have flagged that page in my copy which I have handed over. It's not mere executive instructions. And then, my lords, if they have, my lords, equated the post of chief engineer to that of engineer in chief, impermissible, my lords. There is a rule, they can't do so. And then this notification is of Vigilance Department. 2002, taking help of this, what has been done by Annexure 17 is, my parent cadre controlling authority, the Road Construction Department, you have seen in Annexure 17, I page 77. Taken back my services from the Rural Work Department, which is a work department under the PWD code, and transferred me as engineering. Because equivalence comes after consideration of various factors, your lordships have seen that. Now kindly for a moment, I will not delay your lordships. That other part that I had attacked with regard to 572. Lord's, nomenclature of the statute cadre post, both before this notification and even post this notification. They have made no mistake about it. My establishment is provided for, secretariat is provided for, my functioning is earmarked under the PWD code. And then, my lords, the second point with regard to ex feci arbitrary, my lords, the pleadings are contained in para 5.6 to para 5.8 of my IA. If your lordships could only make a note, because I am not trying to deliberate, because your lordship says what I have said is enough. And the third aspect, my lords, before I take your lordships to last two and conclude my argument. This, my lords, transfer order and the notification on basis of which, my lords, I have been sought to be transferred without authority, without competence, without jurisdiction. I have spelled out in para 7, 8 to para 11, sub-para 11 of my IA. Talking about, my lords, PWD code provisions, talking about, my lords, various aspects. And then, my lords, I have talked about one more aspect which your lordships need to, my lords, take it down. I said that in para 11 and para 12, that's contrary to rules of executive business. You are changing my service condition. If your lordships will kindly turn to page 15 to 17, I have spelled out the rules of executive business. It needs a cabinet approval and by way of amendment in exercise of powers under Article 309. Plus, if your lordships will kindly turn to page 15 and see the provision of the IA. No, this is the provision notes. I have given a translated copy note, but I have a Hindi copy. This is from Bihar Rules of Executive Business, which has been literally ditto translated into Hindi and published notes here. If your lordships want, I can pass on a copy of the Rules of Executive Business of Bihar. And the Hindi copy has already been given. As a measure of caution, your lordships can compare that. Shall be submitted to the Chief Minister through the Secretary to the Council, Cabinet Secretary and consideration by the Minister in charge with a view to obtaining his order for circulation of the case or for bringing to the consideration of a meeting of the Council under Rule 6, or in the case of extreme urgency, the order of the Chief Minister shall be obtained for authorizing action in anticipation of the approval of the Council. Where the approval of the Council is anticipated, the concerned department shall send a memorandum of consideration. Third schedule, notes, as is the matter, what is the entry for, notes? Proposal for making or amending of service rule. This, the principal secretary, department of road construction department could not have done. I have, of course, that will be
Primarily, what you are saying is that this circular or this decision dated 5/7/2002 is contrary to the rules.
I'm saying this transfer order in any case is contrary to the rule.
That's right.
What I have sought for a declaration is that notification dated 5/7/2002 is not relatable to the statutory cadre post. And if it is in violation of this. Then I have said 5/7/2002 doesn't give a declaration of equivalence. And then I have said that my service condition can only be changed by rules of executive, under rules of executive business. Then few judgments, one or two paragraphs. I will take your lordship to Roshan Lal and leave it what has been relied upon. What is a government service? So, first, the lordship will straight away turn to
Do we really need to go into such issues?
they have spelled out what in jurisprudence, para 6 and 7 of Roshan Lal, what in jurisprudence is the meaning of service condition of a government employee. They say, and I have set out that in my written submission, my lords, with the basic judgment given a small written submission. They say, my lords, origin is contractual. Moment the employee is appointed, is more of a status than a contract. Salomon says the contractual part is getting fast obliterated, is more of status. And then they say, if it is of a status with duties and functions attached to it, it cannot be unilaterally changed. It will be governed by the statute or statutory rules. Because there are 4 judgments, if your lordship shall just read out one paragraph and leave the rest, indicate the paragraphs that are indicated, can't you turn to Roshan? Because my problem is, my lords, I know your lordships are quicker, faster and more intelligent
No,
than
I'm
me.
not.
But then I feel,
But
my lords, I may not be doing enough service to my client if I do not put my point through. Because Roshan Lal, your lordships will find at page 1. Straight away turn, my lords, I will not go what was the issue involved there. Can't you turn to para 6? Because there, of course, for understanding the fact, it was from a railway employee who had entered grade D. Once he entered grade D, his contention was, I have to be treated as a class. And then they had to moment to consider at para 6. It's a longish paragraph, But then, your lordships may write at the corner, this judgment has been approved in Tulsi Ram Patel. This judgment has been approved in DTC case. Tulsi Ram Patel again is a constitutional bench. This judgment is again a constitutional bench. DTC, though wrongly referred in one of the judgments as 9 judges bench, is still a constitutional bench, 5 judges. It is true, Lords, may I read some of the lines?
Yes.
It is true that the origin, I am reading from the 10th line from para 6. It is true that the origin of government service is contractual. There is an offer, an acceptance in every case. But once appointed to his post or office, the government servant acquires a status. Kindly see, my lords, that is why I have heeded. You can't take away my status. And his right and obligations are no longer determined by consent of both the parties. Because even if the government wanted and I had agreed, it didn't matter, couldn't. But by statute or statutory rules, which may be framed and altered unilaterally. The frame a statute. Say even if you are a highest cadre holder, I'll post you as a superintendent engineer. We'll challenge that statute. The hallmark of status is the attachment to a legal relationship of rights and duties imposed by the public law and not by mere agreement of the parties. The emoluments of the government servant and its term of service are governed by statute or statutory, which may be unilateral. Now turn to the next page, Lords. What is said is, the duty, third line, the duties of status are fixed by the law. And in the enforcement of these duties, society has an interest. So, my lords, it's not a matter personal to the government. And then quotes, my lords, Salomon and William. And last line, in such contracts as those of service, the tendency in modern times is to withdraw the matter more and more from the domain of contract into that of state. Now, this has been followed, as if your lordships will come to the index page, I will point out that from the index and not take your lordship. Because Hemraj is proper, your lordship can write in that paragraph indicated, government is to be a model employer. And then they say, the guarantee, quoting another Supreme Court at para 36, the guarantee that is provided by Article 14 and 16 is that the action of the government has to be grounded on fairness. Now, it was in this peculiar scenario, highest cadre post holder, there is none other right now promoted as engineer-in-chief cum AC cum SS. Right since 2019. Post superintending engineer, post officiating chief engineer, or just promoted as chief engineer and they have to wait for 2 years period for consideration for being promoted. And then send me to a technical cell. Lords, submission before your lordship is, Lords, this can't by any stretch of imagination be a decision taken which is grounded on fairness. Now, Lords, the next judgment, Vankani, Lords, talks about seniority as a civil right. Lords, that's a famous judgment with regard to unsettling a settled seniority provision. Civil right, and my lords, if it is unsettled or action taken contrary to it, it leads to bitterness. Rivalry affects the quality of work, leads to petitions ultimately to court and ultimately to penury. My lords, my petitioner must have also suffered financial loss by bringing me here. Dharampal again recites that, the same recitation, if your lordships will just turn to Dharmpal, 64 to 75, and then Para 24, kindly see below. A government service is essentially a matter of status. Refers to Roshan Lal courts and then quotes Tulsi Ram Patel Milord, which is another one at page 72. I was only trying to indicate that if I have not been making submission on thin air, Supreme Court has noted this. Roshan Lal Tandon and then Tulsi Ram Patel, another constitution bench. And then if your lordships will turn over, Delhi Transport, wrongly said to be 9 judges. I will take your lordship to that judgment. It's there in the enclosure. It's 5 judges bench. So therefore, Milords, they could have not kindly, Milords, one judgment, that judgment initially incorporated at page 247. What do they note, Milords? Milords, the issues are the same. Your lordships will find there was power under the Bihar University Act as set out in para 2 under section 10(4), empowering the vice chancellor as the state also has the power to transfer me. From one institution to the other, a principal was transferred as a reader. The challenge came on the issue of equivalence. The High Court was kindly see para 8, only para 8. It has dealt with in detail, and why he says, Milord, the Supreme Court says, that the postcard be held to be equivalent. Kindly see 4 specific instances in the next page is laid out. The power of Vice Chancellor to transfer any teacher under section 10(4) is controlled by the use of what Sabka Khan is, and he cannot transfer any teacher from one post to another in a department of the university or a college unless they belong to the same class. In that view, there can be no doubt that the 2 posts of principal and reader cannot be regarded as of equal status and responsibility. The true contention for equivalence is the status and stature and responsibility of the duties attached to the 2 offices. Although the 2 posts of principal are carried on the same scale of pay, so there is an argument here, same scale of pay. The post of principal undoubtedly has higher duties and responsibilities. Apart from the fact that there are certain privileges and allowances attached to it, the principal being the head of the college, because I being the head of a works department, I am an advisor, I am the administrative head, I am the person who recommends, initiates action, I am the person who provides for budget, ensures that it is finished. I am the person who takes disciplinary action against them. What does the Supreme Court note? Apart from the fact that there are certain privileges and allowances, the principal being the head of has many statutory rights, such as he is the ex officio member of the syndicate. He has a right to be nominated as a member of the syndicate. As head of the institution, he has administrative control over the college, professors, readers, lecturers, and other teaching and non-teaching staff. As the head of my department, I have a control over the chief engineer also, which is after that stroke, a person of that particular qualification or eligibility can also be on. And therefore he says, the Supreme Court notes, reader and professor may have more of an honor and dignity on account of learning, knowledge, and the service they do, but yet the 2 are not equal. One paragraph more of page 230, I had said something what Supreme Court had said. Paragraph 230 of DTC judgment, I will not show anything more. And then come to the affidavit of the Chief Secretary. As you know, that is at page 192. You know, so I was fascinated by such word of wisdom from any court, and especially if it came from the apex court. Kindly have a reading. There is need to minimize the scope of the arbitrary use of power in all walks of life. It is inadvisable to depend on the good sense of the individuals, howsoever high placed they may be. It is all the more improper and undesirable to expose the precious rights like the rights of life, liberty, and property to the vagaries of the individual's whims and fancies. It is right to say that individuals are not and do not become wise because they occupy high seats of power, and good sense, circumspection, and fairness does not go with the post. However high they may be, there is only a complacent presumption that those who occupy high posts have a sense of responsibility. This presumption is neither legal nor rational. History does not support it, and reality does not warrant it. And then the Supreme Court says, otherwise, now let me come to your Lordship has seen 57/2002 notification. Let me come to this additional supplementary counter affidavit. In light of what the apex court said in the Supreme Court, let us see what is the reason assigned by them. Kindly see 7 and para 6 and 7 only. They were aware what your Lordship had asked them to consider and state in the supplementary counter affidavit. To meet the allegation that I have been degraded, I have been reduced in rank. If your Lordships will kindly see para 6. That's most humbly and respectfully submitted by order dated Itna. This on the sanction the highest cadre post in the so in the light of it be that as per Cabinet Vigilance Department Resolution 574, a post of engineering has been created for the technical examination.
You are reading affidavit dated
The
13/3.
last affidavit filed by the Chief Secretary. 13/3/2024.
You are at page number?
Because I'm at internal page
3. Fine. Okay.
Rosie, take some note of what your Lordships had directed in your Lordships order dated 15/2004.
That's right.
Taken away. His status then at para 7 plots, A, B, and C are the three things. That the post of Engineer in Chief cum Additional Commissioner cum Special Secretary is sanctioned as the highest cadre post, no dispute, and that I had been promoted as such on 23/2/2022 with effect from 24/12/2019. Then B, that as per Cabinet Vigilance Department resolution, a post of Engineer in Chief / Chief Engineer has been created for the technical examiner cell, para 5 of the said resolution. In this organization, there will be departments like PWD, Etna, whose competence and integrity are certified. And now comes, my lords, the consideration and the declaration. The post of Engineer in Chief is sanctioned for the technical exam. Our first point is sanction for technical examination. Therefore, by departmental notification number so and so, 17/8/2003, the transfer, impute, transfer, the services of Sri Murari Bhagat, the Engineer in Chief cum Additional Commissioner cum Special Secretary, has been taken back from the Rural Works Department and he has been made Engineer in Chief Technical Examiner. That both post of Engineer in Chief, no, this is the finding and reasoning assigned. That both the post of Engineer in Chief, come Additional Commissioner, come Special Secretary, and Engineer in Chief are equivalent posts and the pay scale is also the same. So I tried to look out for any reason or justification said with regard to the equivalence. They contain none. And then kindly come to the last para of the affidavit. I don't know. Chief Secretary of a state filing an affidavit like this. Kindly come before the signature is there. Last para, 11. Has your Lordship read that? That the respondent will suffer irreparable loss and injury if this counter affidavit is not allowed. Because my date of superannuation are fast reaching a point of possibly there being no other day. We are in the month of April. And if I am sent to the cadre post, I am competent and honest. State will suffer irreparable, or perhaps the technical cell without me can't function. What kind of an affidavit? Because para 7 of my writ petition, your Lordships will kindly go through. I have tried to narrate. I had had to file 5 writ petitions. Even my pay areas were not being given. Because I had to move this court. There was a direction. 5 different writ. Then my promotion was not being considered. Though eligibility I had to file a writ. Plus then even for being promoted to the right rank, I had to file a writ. Despite the recommendation of DPC, no notification forthcoming, I had to file a contempt. Because the Chief Secretary undertook in the show cause when he was summoned before this Honorable Court, and thereafter, though promoted with effect from 19, first time I found the fruit of my earning service tenure of 37 years in the year 2021, fag end of 2023.
Let's hear him. Yes.
Para 7, if your Lordships will just make a note and read it. Because in fact, this transfer posting has been initiated by rank juniors to me. The proposal. And I have made a prayer, call for the records that will reveal that.
Yes, please.
So, my lord, the
How do you say that it is equivalent?
yes,
On the principles of law which has been laid down by the Honorable Supreme Court.
yeah. So, my lord, the entire argument, my lord, revolves around equivalence, status, and responsibility. Lord, I will also start from Annexure 6, my lord, page 40. I will not read your, but it is relevant. I will. Annexure 3, page 40.
Annexure 6.
3. Annexure 3, page 40.
Yes.
Lord, say you may kindly come to page 41 in it. Have a look, sir. Call. झारखंड अभियंत्रण सेवा नियमावली 2016 के प्रावधानों के तहत फीडर पद पर मुख्य अभियंता वेतनमान सज्जन सच से उच्चतर ग्रेड प्रोन्नति हेतु कर्णांकित पद अभियंता प्रमुख सह अपर आयुक्त सह विशेष सचिव वेतनमान सज्जन सच के आलोक में विभागीय प्रोन्नति समिति की पूर्व बैठक 17 जून 2020 में कृत अनुशंसा के आधार पर प्रशासनिक विभाग के अधिसूचना संख्या 1561-8720 द्वारा अभियंता प्रमुख के पद पर प्रदत्त प्रोन्नति से संबंधित पदनाम में त्रुटि सुधार करते हुए अभियंता प्रमुख सह अपर आयुक्त सह विशेष सचिव का पदनाम करने पर विचार किया जाए. मतलब this says that the feeder post of the engineer in chief cum AC cum SS is the chief engineer. So he was earlier promoted with the designation of engineer in chief. For that he moved before the Honorable High Court. And thereafter the designation was changed. So it is Padnam mein truti sudhar. Only the designation has been rectified.
Earlier he was designated as chief engineer.
No, he was chief engineer.
Chief engineer.
Then promoted to the post of engineer in chief only.
Okay.
Thereafter, in view of the Honorable Court's order, in a writ petition, this DPC was convened, and the DPC decided no, the actual designation of the engineer in chief is this.
That makes a lot of difference. Is it one and the same thing?
I'll come. Now, this designation of the engineer in chief, come AC, come SS. The designation of the engineer in chief is available in the 3 works department. Now, some fact is there. One post of engineering chief, come special secretary, is a cadre post, was transferred after the cadre division in road construction department from the state of Bihar. One post was transferred. Thereafter, when around 14/8/2001, one post sanctioned in the rural works department in the state of Jharkhand. Now the third post on 17/3/2006, one more post was created by the building construction department. All the 3 departments are the works department. Now to justify this, Lordship may kindly see annexure 15 of the writ petition. Page 71.
Page 70.
Page 70. Madam, the subject is लोक निर्माण विभाग में मुख्य अभियंता पद को अभियंता प्रमुख से विशेष सचिव के पद में उत्क्रमण. The post has been upgraded. The reason of upgradation is निर्देशानुसार मुझे कहना है कि सरकार ने लोक निर्माण विभाग में 2050 से 2450 रुपए के वेतनमान में स्वीकृत मुख्य अभियंता के अस्थायी पद को आदेश निर्गत होने की तिथि से भारतीय प्रशासनिक सेवा के सुपर टाइम स्केल में 57 रुपये में वेतनमान में अभियंता प्रमुख सह विशेष सचिव के पद पर उत्क्रमित करने की स्वीकृति दी गई. Super time scale of the IS officer. Then the next page. Why I am saying this designation is available with the 3 works department. सिंचाई, have you also page 71? सिंचाई विभाग के ज्ञापन संख्या 1082 दिनांक 11/3/81 द्वारा निर्गत संकल्प के अनुसार कार्य विभागों के अभियंता प्रमुख वर्क्स डिपार्टमेंट के अभियंता प्रमुख पद को आयुक्त के पद के समकक्ष घोषित किए जाने के फलस्वरूप अभियंता प्रमुख सह विशेष सचिव लोक निर्माण विभाग के पद का पदनाम अभियंता प्रमुख सह अपर आयुक्त सह विशेष सचिव लोक निर्माण विभाग करने का निर्णय लिया गया. तो बिहार
So what do you want to show from this?
I'm saying not that in the works department, if somebody is posted at engineer in chief, his designation will be this.
The designation to which the petitioner has been promoted.
Yes. His designations will be this. Thereafter, my lord, on this point, 2016 rule में in the IML it is here the English version is page 52, only just one
Yes, I've got that.
IA of the petition.
2016.
2016 rule,
Which page do you want?
page 52.
You are referring to, you just tell me the internal page. Internal page. Internal page of the rules,
26.
26.
The English version is page 52.
Yes.
Well, it has been argued that there is no post like engineering chief.
Which rule are you referring to? Rule 2?
Rule may not be Jharkhand Engineering Service Recruitment Rule.
Right. Which rule are you referring to? Which in particular?
My lord, I am definition.
Okay, definition.
So page 52 and
Yes, I am there.
it has been argued that there is no post like engineering chief. Lordship may kindly see the E. In this, my lord, the junior most officer of the engineering service to the highest rank of the engineering service is mentioned. It's a junior engineer, assistant, executive, superintendent, chief engineer, and engineering chief.
Where are you reading this?
Madam,
Page
in note-
number, internal page.
He's reading rule
Rule-
rule E.
Rule 2, sub-rule E, the
Okay,
definition
fine.
part.
Which is in continuation. I thought that
Yes,
is
page
one of-
26,
Okay, fine.
internal. And 52 running. So, my lord, the rule, the definition says, it includes the junior most to the senior most of the engineering section. So, engineering chief post means the engineer in the cadre of the road construction department it is specified. So, what I am trying to submit, my lord, the engineering chief come secretary SS, AS and SS. The basic post is engineering chief, but when he posted to the works department, these certain responsibilities are attached with him. So the designation
Then
of
why the DPC referred to that particular designation?
DPC referred that particular
And
designation.
what was the need to rectify the designation? If it is to be decided only at the time of posting, and by virtue of a person being posted, he will be designated in a particular manner, then there was no question of referring it to the DPC and then changing the terminology there and then considering his promotion to the
Yes.
post.
It
What was the need?
Yes,
to
it
do
was
that?
needed. It was needed
Why?
because
If there is no separate cadre post to the designation to which the departmental promotion committee was considering, what was the big idea of that consideration?
but from the beginning, my lord, I am submitting that in the works department like road
You
construction.
see, we are this departmental promotion committee meeting is your document,
My lord, I am not
right?
disputing that.
You are not disputing, but we want to know from you as to what was the need to use that particular,
Yes,
because
I-
at the time of DPC you are not deciding the posting, are you? At the time of conducting DPC, you don't decide the posting of a person, right? Posting is decided later on.
Yes.
But when DPC is conducted, you conduct the DPC with a specific purpose to consider his promotion to a particular post,
Yes.
which you specifically write in the DPC. Now
Yes.
you cannot say that if he is posted in works department, he will be designated as this, and if he goes to the vigilance department, he will be designated as chief engineer.
He will not be designated as chief engineer. Chief engineer is the feeder.
Okay, engineer in chief. Okay. From where do you get this?
Because
And in the vigilance department, chief engineer and engineer in chief has been interchangeably used, isn't it?
yes, that is
How? They are one and the same.
They are not same.
They are not same.
They are not.
So basically, the vigilance department only makes that notification to indicate that chief engineer and engineer in chief, they can be posted to the vigilance department.
Yes.
Nothing more.
Either engineering chief.
That by itself, can it be referred to show the equivalence? Do you want to say that engineer in chief or chief engineer is equivalent to what to the designation he has been considered for promotion in DPC? Yes.
In the DPC, whenever the designation is changed.
The very fact that the designation is changed, it has a meaning.
It has a meaning.
You can't say that it is meaningless and useless.
I am coming to the duty and responsibility. If the work of the engineer in chief, as the petitioner was transferred to the cabinet vigilance department, if the work in the cabinet vigilance department of the petitioner is inferior, then there is.
Can it be said that petitioner continues to remain as engineer in chief in spite of his designation as engineer in chief cum additional secretary cum whatever?
Yes.
How? How do you say this? Then, under such circumstances, what was the big idea of consideration of his case for promotion to the said post, which has been specifically named therein?
My lord, he was posted in the building construction department as engineering chief. He was promoted.
One more query from you. You see, come to schedule 4 of the rules of 2016, right?
Yes.
You have chief engineer and then you have this designation,
Yes.
right? Okay. So when you talk about chief engineer and this designation, is there any designation called engineer in chief? In your rules, is there any post called engineer in chief? A separate post? Is there any?
In this schedule, my lord, there is.
You are governed by this rule.
My submission is this, the basic post is engineer in chief, and two.
Show me that post engineer in chief in the rules.
That have some on the definition.
So, but in the ladder of promotion, there is no post as engineer in chief. Merely because you put it in your definition, it becomes a promotional post. And who are the feeder grade for engineer in chief?
Feeder mellow, the chief engineer.
The chief engineer. So there is no promotional post for engineer in chief. The post is engineer in chief cum additional commissioner cum special secretary. A special status assigned to person who is promoted from the post of chief engineer. The next promotional post is this particular designation only.
Yes.
Then you still want to call him engineer in chief?
No, when his service will be taken back to the road construction or building construction or the rural development, his designation will be engineer in chief, come additional commissioner, come special.
From where do you get this? He is governed by 2016 rules, right? So you have to show me a separate designation as engineer in chief. There is no separate post as engineer in chief. You have chief engineer and then you have the head.
Yes.
And the responsibilities of the head are huge. What responsibility do you assign him in the vigilance department? Because he is very honest, you have posted him in the vigilance department because that is the criteria of posting. That is the criteria of posting. That a person who is good and who is honest should be posted in the vigilance department to take care of this recruitment or whatever.
Then, the duties and responsibilities of the engineer-in-chief in the special secretary, and duties and responsibilities of the engineer-in-chief in the vigilance department.
Is
I'm
the same?
explaining.
Is the same?
I'm explaining that it is there.
Yes. From where
Then-
are you referring to?
Lordship, in the supplementary affidavit, my lord, filed at the
In the supplementary affidavit, you have only mentioned the pay scale. Anything else you have mentioned?
supplementary affidavit of chiefs. I'm not placing the supplementary affidavit of the chief secretary. I'm not placing that. Supplementary affidavit of the petition.
Of the petitioner?
It is-
Not find any supplementary.
Yes, it is. Oh, sorry, my lord, it is rejoined.
Okay, fine.
Asif, can you come to page 30?
30. Okay. Yes.
32 of the result.
32.
32 of the result.
32.
This is dated 17/3/2006.
Fair enough. Yes.
झारखंड राज्य मतलब the subject झारखंड राज्य अंतर्गत भवन निर्माण विभाग रांची के अधीन कुल वार्षिक व्यय 39,286 मात्र की लागत पर अभियंता प्रमुख सह अपर आयुक्त सह विशेष सचिव के पद एवं सहयोगार्थ राजपत्रित और राजपत्रित पदों के सृजन के संबंध में निर्देशानुसार उपयुक्त विषय के संबंध में कहना है कि नवसिद्धित झारखंड राज्य भवन निर्माण विभाग में अभियंता प्रमुख सह अपर आयुक्त सह विशेष सचिव के पद तत्कालीन लोक पथ भवन एवं परिवहन निर्माण विभाग के पृथकीकरण के उपरांत दिया नहीं गया है। सॉरी, पब्लिक वर्क्स डिपार्टमेंट देयर वाज नो सेपरेशन, तो उस समय पद नहीं दिया गया है। तो आगे बताएं। भवन निर्माण विभाग एक तकनीकी विभाग होने के चलते इसके विभाग अध्यक्ष हेड ऑफ द डिपार्टमेंट मतलब अभियंता प्रमुख सह अपर आयुक्त सह विशेष सचिव होते हैं। उनके द्वारा तकनीकी मामलों में अनुमोदन अनिवार्य है तथा विभागांतर्गत निर्माणाधीन योजनाओं के निर्माण एवं विकास कार्यों की समीक्षा करने, योजनाओं के कार्यान्वयन में उत्पन्न अवरोधों को दूर करने तथा सरकार को तकनीकी सलाह देने की उनकी पूर्ण जिम्मेवारी के मद्देनजर राज्य सरकार के विचारों पर कुल वार्षिक व्यय 39,288 की लागत पर अभियंता प्रमुख अपर आयुक्त विशेष सचिव के पद पर सहयोगिता राजपत्रित अराजपत्रित पदों का संलग्न परिशिष्ट के अनुसार सृजित किया जाता है। मतलब दिस पैराग्राफ स्पीक्स अबाउट द ड्यूटी ऑफ द
Not the duty, it is creation of certain post to assist him. These are
No.
all his secretarial staffs.
But I have read उनके द्वारा तकनीकी मामलों में अनुमोदन अनिवार्य है। विभाग निर्माण परियोजनाओं के निर्माण और विकास कार्यों की समीक्षा करना है, योजनाओं की समीक्षा करने, योजनाओं के कार्यान्वयन में उपलब्ध अवरोधों को दूर करने के लिए सरकार को तकनीकी सलाह देने की पूर्ण जिम्मेवारी। These are the duties of the.
These are the duties,
these are
but for that purpose,
For that there is a budgetary
is he
allocation.
performing these duties in vigilance
I am
department?
coming. Thereafter, the certain non-gazetted and gazetted posts are sanctioned for his assistance, and the last paragraph, 4. So, there was budgetary allocation, but duties are also mentioned in the that I was pointing
He
out.
is basically in control of the entire department,
Yes.
isn't it? Be it road construction department, when he is heading the road construction department, building construction
Yes.
department, when he is heading the building construction department. So the entire department is within his control, and he is the administrative and otherwise the head of the department, isn't it? Now you tell us that what are his responsibilities when he's working as?
Last of 4 paragraph of the same. अभियंता प्रमुख से अपर आयुक्त सब विशेष सचिव भवन निर्माण विभाग एवं उससे संबंधित सभी तकनीकी पथ निर्माण विभाग के नियंत्रणाधीन रहेगा तथा अभियंत्रण संवर्ग इंजीनियरिंग कैडर के पदाधिकारियों की सेवाएं पथ निर्माण विभाग द्वारा दी एवं ली जा सके। So the road construction department has the competence to take his service or to send him. Now, the duties and responsibilities of the chief engineer or the engineer in chief in the vigilance cabinet vigilance department. For that, your lordship may kindly turn page 37 of the same.
Yes.
But 37 मतलब the post are mentioned, I am not reading that. उपयुक्त पदों के सृजन, the post are created मतलब सृजन के क्रम में वार्षिक अनुमानित व्यय 39,68,844 मात्र की संभावना है। नेक्स्ट पेज मतलब पेज 38। राज्य में लोकनिधि दुरुपयोग से बचाने के लिए उच्च स्तर के कार्य संपादन सुनिश्चित करने के लिए तथा डिजाइन एवं स्पेसिफिकेशन के मुताबिक सामग्री के व्यावसायिक उपयोग के लिए निगरानी विभाग में मुख्य सचिव निगरानी आयुक्त के तत्कालिक अधीन एक टेक्निकल से तकनीकी जांच कोषांग के सृजन किया जाता है। इस संगठन का मुख्य काम तकनीकी एवं अभियंत्रण की जांच करना होगा जो सभी विभागों पर लागू होगी। So this is having jurisdiction to see all the departments. Next इसके प्रधान ऐसे अभियंता प्रमुख मुख्य अभियंता के कोटि के पदाधिकारी होंगे जिनकी निपुणता और सत्यनिष्ठा में कोई दाग न हो। He should be honest man and he will be the head. इस संगठन में विभिन्न अभियंत्रण जैसे लोक निर्माण विभाग, पथ निर्माण विभाग, भवन निर्माण विभाग, सिंचाई, लोक स्वास्थ्य विभाग के ऐसे पदाधिकारी होंगे जिसकी योग्यता सत्यनिष्ठा प्रमाणित हो। कोषांग में प्रतिनियुक्त पदाधिकारियों की कार्यावधि 3 से 5 वर्षों तक होगा। कोषांग पदाधिकारियों को विशेष वेतन निम्नलिखित मात्रा में दे होगा। स्पेशल अलाउंसेस विल बी देन 7 साधारणतया तकनीकी परीक्षण कोषांग में निम्नलिखित कार्य होंगे।
लोगों को बोलिए जाके बाहर बात करें। आप लोग प्लीज बाहर जाके बात करते तो ज्यादा अच्छा है। बहुत जोर जोर से बात करें। यस कंटिन्यू।
Para 7 the work of the technical cell is defined. तकनीकी कोषांग में निम्नलिखित कार्य होंगे। समय समय पर अचानक ठेके के कुछ प्रतिशत जिसका निष्पादन राज्य के विभाग द्वारा निश्चित अवधि में किया गया हो को सुनिश्चित करने का उद्देश्य से उचित एवं तथा ठेके के शर्त एवं उक्त वार्षिक कार्य विवरण विशेषकर तय किए गए ठेके युक्तियुक्त हों। ऑल द टेंडर्स इज टू बी सीन बाय दिस टेक्निक। कुछ मुख्य कार्यों के कार्यवाही एवं समाप्ति के बाद यह सुनिश्चित करने के लिए निरीक्षण करना है कि कार्यों का निष्पादन निर्धारित समय के अंदर किया गया है और निर्माण काल में प्राधिकृत ठेके का अतिक्रमण पब्लिक भूल नहीं हुआ। विभागीय स्तर पर निष्पादित चुने गए कार्यों का निरीक्षण एवं सुनिश्चित करने के लिए अधिक सामग्री एवं श्रम ऐसे कार्यों में नहीं लगाए गए हैं। विभिन्न कार्य विभागों द्वारा भुगतान किए गए अंतिम विपत्तियों की विवरण में कुछ प्रतिशत की जांच हेतु जिसका संबंध नापी पुस्तिका अंकित नापी तथा मापी पुस्तिका में अंकित एवं ठेके के अनुसार वर्णित मत एवं जहां आवश्यक हो ठेके कार्यों को देखकर सामग्री और किस्म को जांचना है, चयन करना है। फॉर ऑल द वर्क डिपार्टमेंट एकाएक योजनाओं को चुनकर प्रारंभ से समर्पित परीक्षण करना, यह देखना कि कार्यों के निष्पादन की अवधि विस्तारित नियमों का अनुपालन किया गया है अथवा नहीं। Now the last,
Basically, postmortem of the works done by all the departments.
by all the departments. That's why the cabinet vigilance department is. किसी विशेष कार्य के अनुसंधान एवं परामर्श देने के संबंध में जब कभी राज्य सरकार द्वारा किसी प्रकार की सहायता की आवश्यकता हो, ऐसे कार्य संबंधी पर ठेके के परीक्षण हेतु किए जाए। Similar, there are others also, duties and responsibility. But my submission is this, matter the duties and responsibilities assigned to the petitioner in the cabinet vigilance department as an engineer in chief is not inferior to that he was doing in the works department.
And your further submission is that the term chief engineer / engineer in chief means the same thing as that of the designation of it.
No, that I can't say. Chief engineer is higher in rank. Engineer in chief is the fifth post
This
of
is
the
what
engineer.
you have.
A stroke means, yes, the interpretation can be there. But the stroke means either the engineer in chief or the chief.
So petitioner falls under engineer in chief.
Engineer.
And
He is the head of the
no,
vigilance.
but there is nothing like engineer in chief in your rules. There is no such concept of, rather why should we take engineer in chief, the engineer in chief to be equivalent to the designation of the post of the petitioner and not equivalent to the chief engineer?
That's what the highest authorities of the state, 3 secretaries of the department, even the personnel department.
Yes, let us see
They
their
have
decision.
decided
Let us see their
that
decision
it
for
is
a
equal-
moment.
It is not same, but it is equivalent.
How do you say it is equivalent? Just think it's equivalent.
Yes, it is with my supplementary affidavit of the chief secretary.
Yes. Let me have a look at it. Let us look at the decision and then we wind up, right?
Yes. Page 9 annex A to the affidavit filed by the chief secretary, on 13/3/2020.
Yes.
Your Lordship, I'm ready. मुरारी भगत वर्ष झारखंड राज्य दिनांक सज्जन सच को माननीय उच्च न्यायालय द्वारा पारित न्यायाधीश के आलोक में पूरक प्रतिशत दायर करने हेतु मान्यतव्य गठन पर दिनांक 26/2/24 को आहूत बैठक मुख्य सचिव झारखंड की अध्यक्षता में हुई बैठक की कार्रवाई। द चीफ सेक्रेटरी, द पर्सनल एंड एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव रिफॉर्म डिपार्टमेंट सेक्रेटरी एंड द फाइनेंस सेक्रेटरी आल्सो। WPS संख्या 6693 मुरारी भगत झारखंड राज्य वन में दिनांक 2024 को प्रारी न्यायाधीश के आलोक में आज दिनांक 26/2/24 को उक्त भाग में पूरक प्रतिशत दायर करने हेतु मंतव्य गठन पर मुख्य सचिव की अध्यक्षता में सचिव, कार्मिक, राजभाषा विभाग एवं वित्त विभाग के साथ बैठक आहूत की गई। उक्त बैठक में निम्न तथ्यों के आधार पर प्रतिशत दायर करने हेतु सहमति बनी। पथ निर्माण विभाग ग्रामीण विकास विभाग एवं भवन निर्माण विभाग के अंतर्गत अभियंत्रण सेवा 1 के तहत संवर्गीय उच्चतम पद के रूप में अभियंता प्रमुख सह अपर आयुक्त सह विशेष सचिव का पदनाम स्वीकृत है। उक्त के आलोक में विभागीय अधिसूचना संख्या 676 दिनांक 23/2/22 के द्वारा पूर्व में निर्गत अधिसूचना संख्या 1561 दिनांक 8/7/2020 को संशोधित करते हुए मुरारी भगत अभियंता प्रमुख ग्रामीण कार्य विभाग को संशोधित पदनाम अभियंता प्रमुख सह अपर आयुक्त सह विशेष सचिव के पद पर दिनांक 24/12/19 के भूतलक्षी प्रभाव से प्रोन्नति दी गई। मंत्रिमंडल निगरानी विभाग के संकल्प संख्या 412 दिनांक 15/7/2002 के द्वारा तकनीकी परीक्षा कोषांग हेतु अभियंता प्रमुख मुख्य अभियंता का एक पद सृजित है। उक्त संकल्प की कंडिका 5 में अंकित है कि इस संगठन में विभिन्न अभियंत्रण जैसे लोक निर्माण विभाग अंडर दिस मेलॉट पथ निर्माण, भवन निर्माण, सिंचाई, लोक स्वास्थ्य विभाग के ऐसे पदाधिकारी होंगे जिनकी योग्यता एवं सत्यता प्रमाणित हो। मंत्रिमंडल सचिवालय एवं निगरानी विभाग झारखंड रांची में तकनीकी परीक्षण कोषांग के लिए अभियंता प्रमुख मुख्य अभियंता का पदनाम स्वीकृत है। अतः विभागीय अधिसूचना संख्या 3981 17/8/23 द्वारा मुरारी भगत तत्कालीन अभियंता प्रमुख सह अपर आयुक्त सह विशेष सचिव की सेवा ग्रामीण कार्य विभाग से वापस लेते हुए अगले आदेश तक अभियंता प्रमुख तकनीकी परीक्षण कोषांग मंत्रिमंडल सचिवालय एवं निगरानी विभाग झारखंड रांची के पद पर पदस्थापित किया गया। अभियंता प्रमुख सह अपर आयुक्त सह विशेष सचिव एवं अभियंता प्रमुख दोनों पद एक ही स्तर के हैं एवं वेतनमान भी समरूप है। मंत्रिमंडल सचिवालय एवं निगरानी विभाग के अधीन अभियंता
आप हमको बस इतना ही बता दीजिए, ये सेंटेंस आप कहाँ से ला रहे हैं? अभियंता प्रमुख सह अपर आयुक्त सह विशेष सचिव एवं अभियंता प्रमुख, यानी कि
इंजीनियरिंग चीफ कम एएस कम एसएससी।
अभियंता प्रमुख इज इंजीनियरिंग चीफ।
यस,
हाँ, एक ही पद के स्तर, एक ही स्तर के, कहाँ से ला रहे हैं? From where do you get this? The schedule 1 is not talking about anything called engineer in chief. It is not there. आप एक बीच में घुसा रहे इंजीनियर इन चीफ। आप जरा इसमें आइए, शेड्यूल 1 of your rules. It talks about chief engineer and engineer in chief come additional commissioner come special secretary.
So this is read with my lord.
With
Roman 1. What I was submitting, my lord, that the post, my lord, on which the petitioner was there in the
आपको एक बीच में पोस्ट क्रिएट करना चाहिए था,
करना चाहिए।
वैसा तो आप नहीं किए है ना। आप उनको प्रमोशन दे रहे हैं एक पर्टिकुलर पोस्ट पर, उसके बाद एक नया डेजिग्नेशन देकर उनको कहीं भेज रहे हैं ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ 2002 some decision of the which this department, which and that post in 2016 does not exist and it is used interchangeably, engineer in chief and chief engineer both. तो ये जो पोस्ट आप बोल रहे हैं अभियंता प्रमुख should be treated to be equivalent to chief engineer and not engineer in chief, because engineer in chief का कोई अलग से पोस्ट नहीं। रूल्स में तो हम लोग रीड नहीं कर सकते ना, अंदर घुसा के कहाँ से पढ़ेंगे? Is there any provision that we can rewrite the rules?
No, मतलब बट हम जो सबमिशन कर
हम आपके समझ के सबमिशन
जो इसके रोमन 1 में है, जो हम पहले से सबमिशन करते आते हैं कि जो 3 डिपार्टमेंट्स है, वर्क डिपार्टमेंट, उसमें उनका डिजिग्नेशन वो है। यही जो हाई लेवल हाई पावर कमेटी भी यही डिसाइड कि उसमें उनका है, लेकिन निगरानी विभाग में इंजीनियरिंग चीफ।
ठीक है, सुन लिया। इन्होंने अपना दिया है, इन्होंने अपना रिटन सबमिशन दिया। अगर आपको कुछ देना है तो 2 दिन के अंदर
एक लेक्चर देख लिया जाएगा। यही झारखंड का ऑर्डर है कि पोस्ट रीऑर्गेनाइजेशन, ये नेक्सट 16 लगा हुआ है पेज 73। is an order passed by Honorable Mr. Justice M.Y. Iqbal, as it was, wherein he notices that post reorganization, a person who was holding the post of engineer in chief cum AC cum SS was designated, was posted as engineer in chief in one of the departments. He said it's a non-existent post and directed, of course, taking the Bihar Reorganization Act also into account. That's Annexure 16.
We'll see. Arguments concluded. Let's see. I'll try and do the needful at the earliest. It's a transfer matter.
And also one request I have been repeatedly making, sort of calling the action matter finally. I have been repeatedly requesting my doctor, not asking, that's a bad word. To kindly see para 7 and the scenario. Your lordships will realize the victimization.
Even 1 day of prestige, if a person is deprived of even 1 day of prestige he otherwise deserves, then that's an irreparable loss to him. We acknowledge that, but equivalence aspect we'll certainly consider, and also consider whether this post which they have mentioned is engineer in chief, whether at all exists under the rules, and whether they can, by virtue of this kind of a decision, they can simply rewrite the rules and say that it is equivalent. This is something which we need to
And
see.
then was the only counter to his argument. He says, if they had kept me in the works department, any of the three, designation would come back. My parent controlling department is RCD. I am thrown off and dropped off the status.
One humble prayer.